Welcome back to the Daily Spread. Monday, it's clearly a Monday because we're running about 13 minutes behind right now, which kind of sucks. I think this is the first show we've actually started late, so this is the third week for it, so I mean, not too bad, but dang, Mondays suck. Okay, so a little bit to talk about today. Oklahoma State needs a new head coach. What the heck happened there? Iowa State needs a new president all of a sudden. That broke about, maybe going almost 2 hours ago. And then, what else is there to talk about today? Some tourney stuff. You know, West Virginia, Iowa State, I believe Iowa State, yes, and Kansas all make the Sweet 16 there, so congrats to them. Big stuff going on there. Oh, our website. A little bit of design refresh. So as we get going here, you know, click over to landgrantgauntlet.com and give it a look. It's a little bit simplified, a little bit streamlined for you guys, because we just want to make it better for you guys. I'm Chris Ross. This is the Daily Spread on Land Grant Gauntlet. Give us a like, give us a shout, you know, whatever. Hit the share button. Hit the little thumbs up, the little like button. If you're watching this later on YouTube, hit the little subscribe the button down below. Huge help to us, especially moving forward. You know, we love you guys, love the fans, and everything we do is for you guys. So, I'm a little bit off today. I'm a little bit, I don't know. Let me load this up here. Just kind of ran out of time. Okay, so here we go. Today's news, well, we'll start it out with the design refresh. If you go to, let me click over to the website here, you'll notice that gone is kind of the 3-column layout that there was before. It's way more simplified. It's just the main feed for the post, and then the sidebar with some stuff like the Big 12 standings, which is kind of behind. I think we may actually need to update that. I don't think that's 100% right. So we'll get that updated today. Has our Twitter feed, you know, the sidebar there. Has last year's games, the highlights that automatically get posted there. So after the game, if you go to the homepage and kind of scroll down a little bit, you'll see Big 12 game highlights. All the highlights are there from Big 12 Network. So that's pretty cool. And you'll see just our updated. We've been using these logos for a while now. We're very, very happy with them. But now it's instead of the black menu bar, it's now white. It kind of shows off the black logo like it's kind of our standard now. Definitely look at all the main stuff's there, the podcast, the recruiting, all that stuff, the shop with our t-shirts, all that stuff is there. Speaking of t-shirts, last week we unveiled a new one, kind of our own logo on a t-shirt. I think it looks amazing. Ours should show up here sometime this week. So when it does, I'll definitely have that on the show and kind of be able to show that off. Very excited about those. Check those out. I mean, we got a couple, especially if you're an Oklahoma State fan or a Baylor fan or Texas fan, we have some fan themed site shirts for everybody there. Everybody in the conference actually has at least one themed shirt for them, and then we have a few others as kind of things, inspiration strikes, I should say. You know, Baylor's got a pretty cool t-shirt that was made up. We rule this state, you know, a play on Matt Rule there. Oklahoma State fans, there's kind of a t-shirt featuring the Big Daddy coffee mug with a visor hanging off of it. That's pretty cool there. Definitely check that out. Other news, if you missed it, Friday, Mike Gundy, now he's fighting rattlesnakes. Who knows? Maybe we need a rattlesnake t-shirt now. Like, that guy, my gosh, he's Oklahoma legend. No one can top Gundy. No coach. I mean, Harbaugh comes close, but straight personality, nobody tops Gundy. The dude's a legend. All right, a little bit of football news. Baylor committed a 3-star tackle out of Franklin, Texas. Casey Phillips, kind of a big dude there. They should be really happy with that. Patrick Mayhorn has the story on the front page here. Actually, the first article up right now. So that's pretty cool. Definitely check him out. It kind of has his stats there. A good get all around for Baylor there. Coming up a little bit after the show, you'll see it live. We're going to be looking at OU's 2017 schedule, kind of an early look at their schedule and what expectations should be for the Sooners. So definitely expect that here within the next couple of hours. So definitely check that out. That's getting ready to drop. I know that. And then on to the other news I said earlier. The breaking news today is Iowa State needs a new president. Steve Leith, he is headed to Auburn, it looks like. And I mean, I don't know, for Iowa State fans, I think that's a kind of a bad thing. He brought a lot of success to the Cyclone program. You know, they renovated Jack Trice Stadium. It looks, I mean, the renovations are top-notch. It looks amazing. It's the biggest renovation since, I believe, 1975, I think. You know, he hired Matt Campbell. He's done some things that have brought a lot of energy to the Cyclone program that they might not have, you know, had before. But he's also had his fair share of controversy, and so it kind of makes it a little bit surprising. You know, there are kind of some shady land deals that he was involved in, and then the thing with his using Iowa State's planes and to get his pilot's license, or his fly alone pilot's license. I guess I'm not a pilot. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but basically so he can fly by himself. He had an instructor, which was oh, let me look here so I don't mess it up. I'm going to mess it up, I know. But basically, his instructor, he was qualified for the job, but there was kind of quid pro quo there, and turns out that Leith didn't pay for flight instructions, you know, wasn't paying to use the plane, and you know, that all got audited, and he made it up. He paid it back to Iowa State afterwards, but a little bit of shadiness there. So, I don't know. He's had his fair share of controversies, but he just got a raise in 2015, a $25,000 raise, which I think for most people is a significant raise. To, I think he was making $525,000 a year now. That's a decent amount of money. But anyway, I don't know who's on the list yet. It's a little early to tell. This kind of broke as I was kind of preparing for the show and getting other stuff ready. So I'm kind of digesting this as we go here and kind of looking through information. And I'll be honest, who really pays attention to school presidents and what they've done and that kind of thing? I mean, ADs kind of, coaches, yes, 100%. You know, players, yes, 100%. But, you know, athletic directors and then coaches, it's kind of hard to keep, not coaches, presidents, it's kind of hard to keep track of, you know, everything they've done and not done for the program. Okay, so the other big news up until today, not really football related, but that's okay. We'll on the site, we don't really get outside of football. We focus only on football, and that's not going to change for any time in the foreseeable future. But outside, like Twitter and on the show here, we'll talk sometimes a little bit non-football stuff, as long as it's, you know, Big 12 related, that kind of thing. And definitely, I think Brad Underwood bolting from Oklahoma State qualifies as something to talk about. It took everybody by surprise. I mean, as an Oklahoma State guy, he came from CRFF, you know, that's huge. That is surprising. I think everything we've read, at first you know, it's kind of like, is this Underwood's fault? Is this Holder's fault for letting Underwood go? And boiling it all down, I think it's a little bit of 50-50. I don't think Underwood was as committed as he kept saying, you know, over and over and over again about this is his dream job. He's always looked up to the Oklahoma State program since when he played for Kansas State. And, you know, he has ties to Henry Iba. And, you know, it's just, I don't know. Like, do you bolt after 1 year if you're 100% invested like that, as you say, even if you're being lowballed? Now, I understand he took the job, being paid a lowly $1 million a year, which is really low for Big 12 standards, but doubled his salary what he was making at SFA. He took that job anticipating a raise if he won. Well, I think we can all agree he won. He got Oklahoma State back to the tourney. Michigan doesn't shoot 11 of 13, I believe. In that second half, Oklahoma State destroys Michigan. I mean, like, Oklahoma State lost by 1 point as it is to a team shooting unbelievably well. And they happen to lose. And to a team that's really hot right now. Michigan is going to the Sweet 16, so that they destroyed my bracket altogether. You know? But Anywho, like, I do think there's a little blame on Holder there, because Holder, he's afraid to repeat the Travis Ford fiasco, and I understand that. Travis Ford won his first year too and got Oklahoma State to a tourney and won his first game. So I understand where Holder's coming from, but this feels completely different for the program, and I think that's the difference. And I think Holder thought Underwood was bluffing somewhat when he asked for league average, which is 2.9, I believe, and would prefer 3. Holder countered at 2.2, and then the other offer just didn't come. And apparently, if you go over to Pistols Firing, there's some comments made, some comparisons made to Travis Ford that Underwood didn't quite like and took offense to, and maybe their relationship wasn't all that great, which isn't surprising because Holder's relationship with Gundy isn't all that great, and Gundy's the best coach that they've had. And I saw someone put it, I'll try to source this back, but I think it was Today's You, but they put it basically, the golden boy in the $1 billion palace next door can't get his, what he wants, then what chance does Underwood have? And that's a pretty apt description. I think that, for the outside world, that everybody knows the struggles in that relationship, in the relationship between Holder and Gundy. So when you have another coach come in here and Holder keeps lowballing him and not maybe living up to what the handshake agreement was in the beginning, then why would Underwood stick with that? The other thing that's kind of interesting is the buyout. If Underwood, the buyout kind of made it impossible for Underwood to go to another Big 12 school from Oklahoma State, but Illinois, not in the Big 12, so not that problem. Where that's interesting is he could jump, instead of going from Oklahoma State to his alma mater of K-State, which was the main concern for Oklahoma State fans. If he was to leave, Kansas State was thought to be the school that he would leave for. And, a lot of fans wanted to get him locked up before that could happen, and Bruce Weber bought another year at K-State. So really this blindsided most Oklahoma State fans. I don't think anybody saw this coming. But what's interesting is Underwood kind of working an angle to get to K-State? He saw Weber buy another year. He can use that year at Illinois and kind of make that jump possible, whereas the jump from Oklahoma State to K-State, especially if he signed a better contract for more money, theoretically a bigger buyout, especially an in-conference move, the bigger the buyout, would have probably prohibited any jump to K-State in the future. And so maybe that was on Underwood's mind. I can't necessarily fault him if that was. The only thing you fault him for is the same thing Oklahoma City fans fault Kevin Durant for. If you want to go, that's fine. Go and be honest about why you're going. Don't tell people what they want to hear just to turn around and do the exact opposite, because that's what frustrates people. That's what kind of pisses everybody off, when you just didn't live up to what you said, or what you were saying just seems to be a lot of BS. And there's a quote out there, from just a couple of weeks ago. He said that, "I don't worry about the contract stuff. I'm here to stay. My word means something." Does it? Apparently not, because you left, like 2 weeks later. So that's the big news there, kind of digesting that. What do you guys think? Is that, is that a Holder issue? Should Oklahoma State fans call for Holder's firing? He's done questionable things in the past. They came up with a scheme to make all kinds of money by placing life insurance on their biggest boosters, which was just a colossal failure because they didn't die. I mean, I don't know. You have a guy betting on the death of your boosters. Like, I don't know. I mean, he's almost run Gundy off several times. Gundy is the true lifer for the program. He played here, he lives here, he grew up in Midwest City. Like, he's an Oklahoma guy. He's not looking to go anywhere, and you're still almost running him off. So because of these lowball, tick for tat, like, things, and as long as Holder, seems to do whatever Boone Pickens wants him to do, there's going to be issues there. So should he be on the hot seat, so to speak? Should fans look at Holder to go? who should replace Underwood? Is Gottlieb a legitimate candidate? He has no experience, but neither did Hoiberg and a handful of other coaches that Gottlieb would fire their names out faster than faster than freaking Tyreek Hill running back a kick, But is he? I don't know. He definitely loves the program. I'll give him that. I think there should be, before Oklahoma State fans should kind of gather together and tout one candidate, there should be a vetting process, and there should be, they should find a top 5 guys and kind of do the work, the legwork to find the next guy, just like they did with Underwood and the hire last year. So I don't know. At this point, I think Oklahoma State fans are tired, and even the people that were against Gottlieb are like, just whatever, just bring us a coach that wants to be here. And I think, they thought they had that in Underwood, but clearly they didn't. The other side of this thing is Illinois fans don't seem to be any happier about the hire than Oklahoma State fans are. If you go over to the Champagne Room, which is Illinois' SB Nation's blog there, the comment section is basically fans just hating on the hire. They don't like the hire. They don't know who Underwood is. It's surprising. Oklahoma State fans are devastated that he's gone, and Illinois fans don't want him. I don't know. And so maybe that goes to speak to the fact that maybe Holder was a little bit right to withhold some of that money right now. Because the reality is he hasn't proven himself 100% in this league. He's gone a long way to that, but he hasn't necessarily reached that level. He hasn't proven consistent years. And I think that if he had done that, then there had been no qualms or quibbles over the dollar amount there. I think Holder may have, offered him what he was looking for. Maybe. We don't know, because he doesn't do that for Gundy, so who knows. Maybe he doesn't. However, it does show that the way Illinois fans, kind of outside of the Oklahoma State, outside of the Big 12 bubble, they clearly view Underwood as an unproven hire, and they don't like the hire. So maybe Holder is a little bit validated in his decision not to offer the 2.9 or the $3 million. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to wrap the show up there. We're already running behind today. Lots of things to look forward to. Like I said, look forward to seeing the OU outlook on their schedule. We'll have more teams here. Kansas, Kent State, Baylor, Iowa State, all that's been done. You can see those on the site already. But OU's up next. It'll be out later this afternoon. Give us a follow, give us a like, share it on social media. It's a huge help to us. We love it. Enjoy the new site design. Let us know your thoughts on that. Kind of comment what you'd like to see on the site, changes or anything like that. Because we're open ears. This is the year we're focusing on the user. We want to build the overall experience to kind of make this a better community for Big 12 fans. Big 12 versus the world. Hit the share button. We love it. I'm Chris Ross. This has been the Daily Spread on Monday, the 20th of March. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.